recently, whether we're talking about the Fresh and Fit podcast, Academics was on there with Sneeko. Sneeko being banned from social media platforms. I don't agree with it, but it happened due to the way he acts. Academics on here, Fresh and Fit. They're out, quote unquote, self-acclaimed alpha males in red pill. And for whatever reason, they love to degrade women on camera in order to prove themselves. Now, from a business standpoint, I could understand how Fresh and Fit, the podcast, I view it as like a male Jersey Shore. I can understand why people are entertained and gravitate to it. As far as actual value and entertainment, there ain't much value to be had. Originally, I watched it, I forgot when. I want to say a year or so ago, before the Alba and Preach situation, just because I found it entertaining. But as far as value, it's pretty simple. Pretty women in Miami that have OnlyFans that only use men, whether it's to marry rich men and have sex with men, and their minds isn't geared to, actually being leveled and educated. Not potatoes, black and white, like that's obvious. So as far as the education anybody could really get from here, specifically that podcast, and that podcast, I mean, but I feel like brain dead entertainment. Now, I'm mentioning Red Pill, I'm mentioning embarrassing, and the events that unfolded recently is Academics calling another female on their bitch because she called him out, made fun of him the same way they were degrading her for her voice. And it's just something about a man constantly having to tell everyone that he's rich, watch how you speak to him. That just proves that as far as the alpha male, as far as, being the prize, it's a lot of bullshit. Like a real, I don't want to say, hey, every real man, but if you're fully confident in yourself, whether you have money or not, and you treat people respectfully, male or female, there's no need to degrade somebody else just because your insecurities latched on, that you felt, oh, damn, I got embarrassed in front of everybody. So now I have to somewhat just lash on the female. And a lesson here that could be learned, I'm getting a little bit messy, is regardless of how much money another man has or not, what's more important is how they treat people, how they treat males and females. Because for someone like Academics, he be damned if he talk crazy like that to another man in front of his face. That's something you'll notice sometimes with a lot of these quote unquote alpha males, believers in the red pill space, is they will go out of their way to degrade a female, call her a bitch, say every name in the book, even if the female does some, is real disrespectful. Putting yourself in that position and not being the bigger man is not alpha male energy, whatever you want to call it. And it's embarrassing. But it goes to show you it don't matter the amount of money. It doesn't matter, whether you have a big ass platform or not, but being respectful goes a long way. And with that, it was embarrassing. It was ridiculous. And I love seeing moments like that because it goes to show you, again, money isn't everything. And you could still be a shitty human being to a certain extent when you're not able to control your emotions. I don't know enough about Sneeko. I just know he got banned off of social medias and he be saying some shit that just doesn't make sense. But there's a moment in the Fresh Fit podcast where he points out to the female who has a more masculine voice and they were bashing her for it. He mentions that he's able to see her coochie or whatever, that there's hair, they're sticking out, and then he starts degrading her for that reason. And the entire time I'm watching this is important to know that these guys, they're in a platform that has thousands of people watching. I'm not saying this to be like, oh, wow, they got a large platforms, but it shows that they're not even able to conduct themselves in a manner that's just like respectable. It's degrading. And not to look up to them. Don't be a hardcore fan. You could enjoy some of the work they do, but to understand that, hey, that ain't it. I could say right here, I don't gotta be in that position to say that ain't it. That isn't something I want to strive for. And I love when they embarrass themselves like that because it goes to show us just like these guys are fools. These guys are fools. Fools when it comes to showing what an alpha male is, how you should lead as a male. I believe for any men that don't have a male figure and have to figure it out by themselves, it's to a certain point, sometimes you have to find whether it's content or somebody to sort of get an idea of, but just live life. Sometimes I could say that's the best advice I could give to any man out here, older or younger, that has no idea how to navigate or have conversations with women. Just be respectful, go out there, find places that females are at. I'm not about to tell y'all where to go because I ain't never had a crazy game like that. I ain't never have a life. I've never had a life. I ain't have a moment to where, oh, I could tell you exactly what to say, where to go. I just know the regular things anybody else will tell you, whether, I don't know, the restaurants, go somewhere downtown, whatever the case is. Just live life, do your own mistakes. If you're awkward, I would even say try to find specifically dating coaches. I believe just finding men that know how to communicate, even if it's not exactly the topic, sort of copy some of that mannerism, whatever the case. This one was extremely choppy just because I'm used, like y'all know, I'm used to the music to a certain extent, entertainment, but I could reschedule this better, restructure this better for another time. Now,